Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. I said it as a joke. Maybe I should just get a new husband. I laughed, clinking my wine glass with Emma's. The dinner table was filled with our friends, laughter, music, the soft hum of background chatter. But the moment the words left my mouth, the air shifted. Daniel's smile faltered. He didn't laugh. He just looked at me. Cold, measured. And then he said, loud enough for everyone to hear, maybe you already have. The table went silent. Forks froze midair. My heartbeat thundered in my ears. For a second, I thought I misheard him. Then I saw the look in his eyes, calm, detached, like he'd rehearsed that line 100 times before. Daniel, I whispered, trying to force a laugh. That's not funny. He tilted his head, still staring at me. Neither is betrayal, Claire. The room shattered. I felt the blood drain from my face. Emma's eyes darted between us, unsure whether to intervene. No one moved. Then, as if he'd said something ordinary, Daniel stood, placed his napkin on the table, and said quietly, I'll be home later. He walked out. The house felt like a tomb when I got home that night. His car was in the driveway, lights off. My chest felt heavy with every step I took down the hallway. In the kitchen, he sat at the table, a half-empty whiskey glass beside him, his wedding ring spinning slowly between his fingers. Daniel, I said softly, that wasn't fair. You embarrassed me. He laughed, low, bitter. Embarrassed you? Claire, do you hear yourself? I could barely hold his gaze. There was something in his eyes I hadn't seen in years. Not anger, worse. Certainty. Daniel, I don't know what you think you know, but... Stop. He cut me off, his voice sharp. Don't insult me with denials. I've known for weeks. My breath caught. Known what? He leaned forward, eyes glinting. About you and Mark. The name hit like a slap. Mark? My co-worker. He didn't answer. He just slid his phone across the table. On the screen were screenshots, messages. My messages. Lunch again today. You look handsome in that blue shirt. Can't stop thinking about what you said last night. I froze. My throat closed. Daniel, it's not what it looks like. He slammed his fist on the table, the ring clattering. It's exactly what it looks like. Tears blurred my vision. It wasn't an affair, I whispered. We talked. That's it. I just needed someone to talk to. You've been so distant. He laughed, shaking his head. So you found comfort in him. I wanted to scream, to tell him he'd been absent for months, buried in work, in silence, in cold routines that made our house feel like a museum of two strangers pretending to be in love. But the words caught in my throat, tangled between guilt and pride. Did you sleep with him? He asked, voice calm again. No, I said, and for the first time in a long time, it was the truth. I didn't. He looked away, exhaling through his nose. You wanted to. That broke me, because maybe I had, not physically, but emotionally, dangerously, in all the ways that mattered. The next few days were silent war. He slept in the guest room. We crossed paths like ghosts, silent, polite, strangers under one roof. At work, Mark avoided my gaze. He'd heard. Somehow, Daniel had told him, or maybe word had spread. The office whispers felt heavier than air. One evening, I found Daniel in the backyard, staring at the old oak tree, the one under which he proposed to me. I walked up quietly, heart aching. I miss us, I said. He didn't tone. You missed a version of me that didn't know. I swallowed hard. You've already decided I'm guilty. No, he said. I've decided I can't be sure anymore. His honesty hurt more than accusation ever could. That was the moment I realized what betrayal really was. Not the act itself, but the corrosion of certainty. The loss of belief that your partner is yours in heart and truth. A week later, Emma called. You should come out tonight, she said. It'll help. So I did. I smiled. I drank. I pretended. But halfway through the night, my phone buzzed. Daniel's name. Daniel, I know where you are. I know who you're with. Come home. Now. I froze. My blood ran cold. I hadn't done anything wrong, but guilt still sank its claws in. When I got home, he was waiting at the table again. This time, he wasn't angry. He looked tired. "I saw your car outside Mark's place earlier," he said. My jaw dropped. I wasn't there. Then why did his light go out right after you left the bar? I felt like I couldn't breathe. Daniel, I swear, I didn't even go near him. You're seeing things that aren't there. He leaned back, studying me. That's the problem. I don't know what's real anymore. The pain in his voice broke something inside me. I reached for him. Daniel, please, I love you. He looked at me, eyes glistening. You love me enough to tell another man things you never told me. That silence between us was the loudest sound I'd ever heard. The next morning, he was gone, his closet half empty, a note on the table. I need time to remember who I was before I started doubting everything. I sank to the floor, the note trembling in my hands. The air felt too heavy to breathe. In the weeks that followed, I replayed every moment. The lunches, the messages, the jokes I thought were harmless. Each one now felt like a crack widening under our feet. Mark transferred departments. Emma stopped asking questions. And I kept hoping Daniel would call. He didn't. 3 months later, I received a package. No return address. Inside was our wedding photo, framed but cracked down the middle. Behind it, a note. You wanted a new husband. I hope you find one who never doubts you. That was the first time I realized sometimes the worst betrayal isn't cheating. It's watching love run under weight of what ifs. Because maybe I hadn't cheated, but I hadn't been faithful either. And in that gray space between guilt and innocence, I lost the only man who ever truly saw me,